Trivago.
Next, it is a story that is shocking so many people and has all of us asking a lot of questions. Last night, Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez apologized to the innocent air conditioning repairman bit by one of the K-9's officers. Now we are hearing from new eyewitnesses as well who watched as that man was screaming for help. Ted Oberg now live in the studio with these new developments tonight. Ted?
Yeah, Art, today word that the internal investigation at the sheriff's office appears to be in full swing. Plus, we're hearing from another eyewitness who says the dog ran under that trailer without any warning.
My pride and joy.
Tim Young continues to recover from the May 5th dog bite that landed him in the intensive care unit.
I would love to recover, and to my knowledge, all of that is still up in the air.
As we first showed you exclusively last night, Young was working to fix an air conditioner under this Tomball motorhome when a Harris County Sheriff's Office K-9 bit into him while searching for an auto theft suspect seen in the area.
They got the wrong guy.
The Youngs tell us they aren't eager to sue, but facing months away from work, they want to make sure Tim's mounting medical bills are taken care of and any needed changes made at the sheriff's office.
We'd like to see the Harris County Sheriff's Office say, you know, we messed this one up, and we do apologize to this family. We were wrong.
I apologize. You know, it's always traumatic for anyone to be bit, especially if it's not the target that we were searching for.
While apologetic, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez has not taken the dog or its handler off the street, believing, the sheriff says, that the deputy followed his training. Gonzalez told us the deputy gave warnings the dog was in the area that day. Tim Young and his father say they never heard it.
I didn't, Tim didn't, and none of the other people that were there working did.
Today we spoke to Don Lorenz, that's him with his back to the camera, asking if he heard the warning.
Nobody told us who they were when they were coming. We did not hear one word of warning.
Art, that will no doubt be an important detail in this investigation that's ongoing. You know, no lawsuit has been filed as of right now, and the sheriff's office has policies that prevent us from talking to the deputy who was handling that dog that day.
Incredible. An incredible video as well. But Ted, generally in these circumstances, the dog is euthanized? What happened here?
You know, it's different between civilian instances like this where we see a private dog, although as you and I were just talking about, these dogs are trained to look for suspects.
Right.
And the suspect had been seen in that area. So at that moment, the dog may have been doing what the dog is trained to do.
Absolutely.
And the question that will be very key for investigators to ask is what did the handler do, and what warning did Tim Young under that trailer have to come out with his hands up or to avoid what happened?
Well, a lot more to come on this story, possibly legal matters as well. Thank you, Ted.
Absolutely.
Watch, innocent man mauled nearly to death as cops sick canine on him with no warning. Harris County, TX don't do anything wrong, some say, and you won't have to worry about the police hurting you. While this seems logical enough, in Police State USA, nothing could be further from the truth. Tim Young, an innocent AC repairman, who was so badly injured by police sicking their canine on him that he had a prolonged stay in ICU, is just one recent example that blows that notion out of the water. On May 5th, Tim and his dad Alan were repairing a customer's air conditioner. They weren't committing a crime, had never committed a crime, and, contrary to the apologist cliché, had done nothing wrong. However, that did nothing to stop the Harris County Sheriff's Department from unleashing their deadly canine on Tim. The department claims they were looking for a suspected car thief, and when they saw a man under a modular home, this was grounds enough to unleash the deadly canine. I didn't hear anything, Young said. I didn't see anything. I just felt a real sharp pain and I looked down and there is a dog. As Tim worked under the home, he was shocked suddenly when a canine began attacking him. Being the strong weightlifter that he is, however, Tim was able to hold the dog's mouth shut and protect himself. But, under coercive threats of violence from the deputies, Tim was forced to obey their commands to let the dog go. As soon as he did, the canine tore into his flesh. As soon as I let go, the dog bit me, Young said. The video begins as the dog is dragging Young out from under the home by the flesh of his arm. Read more. Cop fires on unarmed man and his 6-year-old daughter on their way to get asthma medicine. It was the most horrible thing I've ever seen, Tim's father Alan Young said. Image, http://pixel.watch/QT7. A dispute arises, however, as to whether or not police gave a warning prior to releasing the canine. Both Tim, his father, and a third witness, Don Lawrence, were all there and all claimed to have heard nothing before police unleashed their attack dog. Nobody told us who they were, Lawrence said. We did not hear one word of warning. Police, however, claim they did issue a warning and thus were entirely justified in releasing their dog on an innocent person. I have to, at this point, believe the deputy did in their training what they thought was appropriate, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said of the incident. Despite apologizing, he is standing by his deputy's decision to release a deadly animal on an innocent man. It's an unfortunate incident, Gonzalez said. It's difficult for anyone to be bit. I am sorry for that. It could have been the suspect, it could have been kids, it could have been an air conditioning repairman. At that point, the handler had no idea, ABC13 investigative reporter Ted Oberg asked. Correct, Gonzalez said. No one ever asked, are people working, are there children underneath there, Williams said. Had it not been a 25-year-old weightlifting, strong, healthy guy, it would have been a much different outcome. I felt like I went from being a help to being a burden, Gonzalez said. A police attack dog is a deadly weapon, Williams said. If you're going to use a deadly weapon, you have to make sure you got the right guy. They got the wrong guy. Read more. Cop fired for Facebook comment admitting he had a heart. To add insult to injury, after their dog nearly tore Tim's arm off, the cops refused to render any aid. Tim's dad described through tears what happened after cops finally removed the dog from his son's arm. To illustrate the sheer callous nature of the deputies, the father was attempting to put a tourniquet on his son's arm to stop the bleeding, but couldn't get it tight enough. So, he asked for help. I asked him for help and I don't know if he's having a bad day, he just said, do it yourself, Alan said. More than a minute passes before any of the deputies does anything to help the innocent man their dog just tore to shreds. To highlight what a stand-up man Tim Young is, the family is not eager to sue. They are only asking for help with medical bills since Tim will be out of work for several months. As he stayed in intensive care for days, while doctors replaced missing chunks of his artery, Tim, a very religious man, said he prayed. When asked who he prayed for by ABC13, his response speaks volumes. I didn't know what to pray about except for, it sounds kind of funny, but the officers, Young said. To those who think police sicking their canines on innocent people is an isolated incident, think again. Earlier this year, the Free Thought Project brought you the story of an 81-year-old grandma was hospitalized after she was attacked by a police canine while cleaning her shed in her own backyard. Police are now claiming that they acted appropriately when they unleashed their dog on this innocent woman. Read more. DEA agent busted for selling seized narcotics, commits suicide while in police custody. In 2014, the Free Thought Project reported on yet another grandma who was mauled by a police canine. Irene Collins, however, was not as lucky as the two attack stories above, as she was mauled to death. It's not just the elderly either. In 2015, we reported the story of an innocent father who was accused of being a robber. When cops saw him drive into a parking lot, without warning, they unleashed their canine who jumped into the back seat of the man's car and began mauling his infant daughter.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago. And so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.